You know what? I could watch Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes duel it out every week and probably never get bored of it. Uh, these are two of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, and but they do it in a very different way. Like both are really good athletes. Mahomes can run, but he's not going to hit you for. You're not worried about Patrick Mahomes, breaking contain and going for 80 on a regular basis. You're not worried about Patrick Mahomes running for 120 yards against you. But you are worried about Patrick Mahomes throwing all over the yard. And conversely, with Lamar Jackson, you're not really worried about him throwing no look passes and rolling out in a broken plays. You're worried about him rolling out and him hitting a 40-yard run. Lamar Jackson, I've said it before, I'll say it again. This won't be the last time I say it. Lamar Jackson, when he has the ball in his hands and he is a runner, he is Barry Sanders. Like his elusiveness, his agility is just ridiculous. It's not something a quarterback should have. And when people come in, when quarterbacks come in year after year, if there's someone who can run fast or who's pretty athletic, it's always this team's looking for, he could be the next Lamar Jackson. There will not be another Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson could be a slot receiver. You get the ball in his hands, he can make things play. Like Lamar Jackson is just a ridiculous athlete. Not a ridiculous athlete for a quarterback, just a ridiculous athlete. Stop right there, not say for a quarterback, ridiculous athlete. Kyler Murray, for example, is fantastic with the ball in his hands, and he is probably the closest thing to Lamar Jackson you can get, but he is not Lamar Jackson. He is not Lamar Jackson, and I mean, Lamar Jackson isn't Kyler Murray in the fact that Kyler Murray is probably a better passer of the football, but let's not sleep on Lamar Jackson's passing ability, man. He's got a good arm. His mechanics aren't bad yet. Does he need to get more consistent? But I think he has gotten more consistent from his rookie year to now, passing the ball. But the Baltimore Ravens actually ended Patrick Mahomes September undefeated record. They won by a point last night. Sunday Night Football, probably going to be the best Sunday Night Football game of the year, and it's only week 2, but I'm pretty confident in saying that. They were actually down. The Ravens were down 11. Looked like the game was getting out of hand, 35-24 in the fourth quarter, and Lamar Jackson ended up pulling it out, man. He ended up doing the job, and he threw a couple of interceptions early that looked like in the first quarter, threw a couple of interceptions like, yeah, this doesn't look like this could get out of hand pretty quick, and Mahomes was firing on all cylinders. He hit Travis Kelce for a big crossbody pass that Travis Kelce ended up taking like 50 yards to the house after that. Hit Byron Pringle, same thing. Hit DeMarcus Robinson for a touchdown. Tyreek Hill was Tyreek Hill. They don't really have much of a running game. That's, again, for the Chiefs, a little concerning. And obviously, their defense did not play great, which is also very concerning if you are a Chiefs fan, because that is, in fact, what kind of got you in the end last year. Not really being able to play defense and protect Patrick Mahomes. It's really what got you in the Super Bowl. But they played great. I think they'll be fine. I think they need to figure the defense out. Getting Tyrann Mathieu back was huge. He had 2 interceptions. One that he took back to the house to start the game. That was the first score, a pick 6 by Tyrann Mathieu. Getting him back is great for the Chiefs going forward. But the Ravens, man, consistent. Like they just kept plugging away, and I love Lamar Jackson's competitiveness, but I can also see that Lamar Jackson's competitiveness is going to shorten his career, because there were times when they were down and you could see the juices flowing. Like Lamar Jackson has the ball in his hands and he's trying to lower his shoulder instead of going out of bounds, which is great until it's not, until you get hurt. And I don't want to see Lamar Jackson get hurt, because he is really one of the most dynamic players in the NFL, barring position. Doesn't matter, receiver, whatever. Like he's right up there in terms of electricness with like a Tyreek Hill. Their running attack isn't bad. I like that Tyson Williams is actually doing pretty well. Latavius Murray, shout out to him. He found the end zone. Devontae Freeman ripped off his longest run since 2017. Le'Veon Bell is still on the practice squad, so at some point he might get in the mix. As long as Tyson Williams is still doing the damn thing, like I don't know, Le'Veon Bell might end up getting cut or he might stay on the practice squad. But for a team that lost their 3 starting running backs, a second-year guy who looked like he was going to be dynamite piece of that offense. J.K. Dobbins, he goes down. Gus Edwards, okay, we like him. He goes down. Justice Hill, he can do a little bit of everything. He goes down, and now you have a couple older guys and some Tyson Williams, who I'm going to be honest with you, I've never heard of. I was receiving fantasy trades for him saying he's going to be a starting running back, and I'm like, I've never heard of this guy. I know he's the Ravens starting running back, but I'm not going to, by default, everyone else is hurt. So he's actually played pretty well, big boy. Kind of like him. I like his game, but I like the combination. I don't want to see them just hand the ball off to Tyson Williams. Obviously, you get Latavius Murray. He's had a pretty good career. And Devontae Freeman. He's only a couple years removed from being one of the best running backs in the NFL when he was with Atlanta. Marquise Brown. Hollywood Brown is someone I am super excited. Every time, pal. Marquise Brown, someone I'm super excited for. Wasn't sure. Almost was getting ready to classify him as a bust, but he's off to a good start this year. I think on their first drive or their second drive, Lamar Jackson missed him for a long touchdown. He beat the coverage. He blew the top off the defense, and Lamar just overshot him for a little bit, but he played pretty well. He was sitting down in zones. He was getting the ball in the middle. He's going to be a playmaker. That's why they drafted him in the first round a couple years ago. I think this could be, when we get down to it, AFC Championship game, I would not be surprised if this is a rematch of that. I think divisionally, these will be the two division opponents, but in the Chiefs' case, the way the Raiders are playing, they could end up being tough. Granted, we're only 2 weeks in, so I'm not 100% sold on Derek Carr. I think he'll eventually fall off the wagon like he kind of does. Although Henry Ruggs really went off, and if he can continue to go off, that's a big weapon for Derek Carr. But still not sold on them. The Chargers also, they lost, so who really knows how that's going to go. But I think the Chiefs are going to come out of the AFC West, and I do think the Ravens, you look at it, Joe Burrow, offensive line still can't protect him, so the Bengals I don't think are a factor. The Browns didn't look great. Baker got a little banged up yesterday. Chubb still had a good game, but I still think the Ravens, everyone was talking about the Browns, and I think the Ravens answered last night that, no, we're still here. Lamar is like, I'm still the best quarterback in this division. Baker, who? It's still me. I will watch this matchup every weekend, and I really, really hope that I see this matchup in the AFC Championship game because I think it'll be fireworks. Granted, don't know who would come out on top. Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs is a little different animal. No idea who would come out on top. It's a great game. Ravens got on top. Patrick Mahomes no longer undefeated in September. I think he'll be all right. And that's what I got. I'm excited. We're repping the Packers. Big Monday night football game against the Lions tonight. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one.